Hey, it's Dr. Shelley here with 360 Sports Medicine and Spine Therapy, here to talk to you about a common topic that's coming up these days, running recovery. So with gyms being closed, a lot of you are taken to the streets, running outside, myself included. Safe way to exercise, but it comes with its own set of problems, running on cement versus running on trails, not necessarily having your same equipment that you're used to having. So I'm going to share some tips with you that should help you get through this. If you find this valuable, give us a like and a subscribe down below, and we're going to share some more of this content with you. So the first common mistake that I see is quad stretching. So ideally, we want some activity to happen before you run in terms of a dynamic warm-up. So you want to move, fast walking, just moving around quickly. That is the best way to prime the pump and get the blood moving through those tissues to prepare you for your run. Just like warming your car up, the best thing to do is to drive slow versus drive fast. Move a little slower to warm up for running. But after your run, that's where you want to hit your stretching. That's where you get your tissue elongation that then carries you into your next run. First common problem I see is quad stretching. So quad stretching, when I see most of you at the gym doing this. So you grab onto your ankle and that knee stays way out to the side. You want to bring those knees together and stand nice and tall. Then you should feel it nice along that length of the quad versus out here where you're going to get more of that inner thigh. So that is the first easiest thing you can do. Change that angle to be more directly down. Then you get that tissue elongation. The other part being you want to stay nice and tall. So being out here to stretch also is not so helpful. So nice length, getting that line from your shoulder towards the floor. That will help prepare those quads to be able to keep long and not bring you into a little bit more of that flex position. The other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of running is the foot. So the foot is just a lot of bones. It has some very important structures, being what we call your ankle joint, which is where this bone right in the middle meets your tibia and fibula. So that's called your talus. So your talus articulates over your calcaneus and under your tibia. So it kind of moves like a ship. It kind of rocks forward and back, side to side, to over the dome of the talus. If that is not moving well, or if there's tight tissues around that, then you might be running into problems in terms of force transmission from the ground to the rest of your body. When you run, for every foot strike, heel to the ground, you hit with approximately 5 to 7 times your body weight. You want this to be able to transmit that force, not to all hit in your foot. So a really rigid foot, then you get more of that absorption in the foot. That's when we see plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis. And a really floppy foot that just slams into the ground, then we might see that go up into knee or hip or even low back problems. So I want to talk about how you can improve the tissue elongation in the foot. So first thing, Achilles stretching. So your typical gastroc stretch where you bend this front knee, back leg is straight, and then see I bend the front knee, shifting my weight towards the wall, and then hanging there with that really elongated back leg 10 to 15 seconds. And you want to do that 3 to 5 times. Next thing you can do is what's called a soleus stretch. So I'm going to bring my feet a little closer together. Now I'm going to drop my weight towards the ground. So you notice I'm not going so much forward, I'm going down. And then I shift forward. And that will change where that pull comes immensely. The soleus hits the distal third of what you think of as your calf or your shin bone, dropping that down, shifting forward. That helps target the other part, both the gastroc and soleus feed into that Achilles to offload all that tension happening at the foot. Now, some of you may say, I still don't feel it there. So I'm gonna pop my shoes off. If you still are having some challenges, then make a little washcloth. If you make a little washcloth, build a little wedge, stick it under your one side of your heel. Usually it's the inner side. And then shift that weight. You'll feel that pressure change to maybe tackle more of a trigger point, somewhere that feels a little bit more uncomfortable. So you can mess with it towards the heel, towards the arch of your foot, and you'll feel that shift. So that is a nice little tip to help tackle where some of those problem areas come in. And lastly, I've got my other recovery tools. I have this nice little tiny nubbed ball trigger point, and then I have my handy little rock tape ball. I can put those on the ground and just dig my foot into them. I can do this sitting or standing, but some of those tight muscles in my foot might end up having some tension and discomfort from some extra workload, or maybe my shoes are getting old. We'll talk about that another time. But there's some other areas that can benefit from kind of doing some recovery work with some of these tools. So hope that was helpful for you. Drop a like and a subscribe down below. We'll keep bringing the great content, and have a great day.